Hello again, my name's Gabe Zolna. Every once in a while I receive a message that I think might be beneficial, especially for women. This is one of those messages. I posted MVI 7426, ultrasound of baby fighting for its life. The viewer wrote, Gabe, at 21 years old, I married my childhood sweethearts. A few months later, I was pregnant. My then husband told the priest, we were devout Roman Catholics at the time, he told the priest that I'd refused him sexual pleasures. I tried to tell the priest exactly what my husband demanded of me because of smut magazines. My husband became aroused by the priest, held up his hands to stop motion and said, God does not care nor look into the marriage bed, but God says, every wife is subject to her husband's wishes, desires in their private bedroom. If the wife refuses, no matter her reasoning, God will punish her greatly for not obeying her husband. My then husband and I went as quickly as my husband could drive. His arousals now heightened greatly by the Catholics' God laws, or else. We had the sex he demanded, a pop bottle which happened to have a jagged edge at the side of the lip where the cap was secured by the bottling company. When it was all over, I was then made to wait for the bleeding to hopefully stop. It did not, and soon my newly conceived baby fetus, almost 3 months in term, was in my hands. My baby and I were taken to the nearest hospital, and the ER doctor performed a DNC surgery on me wide awake, strapped down and screaming for my baby to be saved for burial. The doctor just yelled at me and said, you saw me toss the piece of trash into the garbage where it belongs. Well, Gabe, in my researching of the transgender surgery, I also read these words. WikiLeaks was the place Google search sent me. And I read and kept hearing the words in my head. Surgeons of such skill are seeking younger and younger subjects for such experiments. I could not shake away those words. Gabe, the younger and younger are the late and early term abortions. The abortionists are lying about all the abortions being dead fetuses, Gabe. I now believe all fetuses are these experiments subjects of younger humans. Gabe, transgender surgeries are being performed on the very fetuses which are sold as parts for transgender attempts, not just to control population, but to help in all their future transgender surgeries. No cost for meds to numb the great pains from such horrific surgeries. Oh my God. Gabe, I believe my thoughts on this has just put 2 and 2 together about the videos you did on fetuses and baby body part sales. The late terms are the recipients of same no meds for pains, just alive and screaming, oh my God. I am literally sick to my stomach. Abortions are the transgender experiments, period. After my experience, I was demanded by the Catholic Church to remain married for 8 years, after which time then I would be allowed to divorce. I looked at the priest right in their face and threw my wedding ring at him with such force it literally hurt him and said, here, you marry him. I'll gladly go to hell if God says I must. Whew. So soon afterwards, I spoke up to other wives, and they soon followed my example because they were told the very same thing about the obedient wife. In Catholic beliefs, I had to be stitched up and was told the probability of being able to carry full term ever again was literally quite impossible. 121 stitches to my inner female parts, wide awake, so I know what without anesthesia means for an adult. I cannot fathom what it means for such tiny innocence. I had another child 10 years later. After 18 D&C surgeries, my lining of the uterus was so almost not there. I begged for a tubal ligation. Then almost 4 years later, my last child, hard to carry full term, but what blessings, my last two babies. And the OBGYN this time made the Planned Parenthood allow me my request. I had to argue my point. I literally kicked the interviewing nurse's rear so hard she was injured, and then herself needed medical assistance. My OBGYN stood up for me and guaranteed he would hire the attorney for me. He would sue the Planned Parenthood for causing me, his patient, such severe distress and duress. My tubes were cauterized, clamped, clipped, and sealed with some type of adhesive. I still have the multiple procedures that were done to me for my tubal ligation in my home files. I got a copy from the medical department records office. My OBGYN helped me in securing them for my future reference. Adopt instead of abortion. God adopted us all. We were Hebrews. What part of love like God, our Father, you folks not get? Sad, sad day, and all the days ahead for me. Truth, it can kill your heart and maim the soul. I have to go now. Between you and me, if I had not told what I found, the brain does have the ability to reclaim the male penis, but not its original structure. The brain eventually sealed together the remains of still living cells of the penis. The brain closes the flesh of the fake vagina in its attempt to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Remember him? All the king's horses and all the king's men, those were mankind doctors whom broke and rearranged Humpty Dumpty's shell. The human body, and not one man can ever do transgendered surgeries. I told you, folks, nursery rhymes are hidden facts of truth. Now they come for the alive, yet to be born for experiments. Nursery rhymes so cute now. Now you'll be able to see, as I now can see, and understand more of what nursery rhymes tell. Rumpelstiltskin, straw into gold. Rumpled foreskin turns the simple straw man into his golden dream, womankind. Okay, I'm overtaken with grief. I have to go, folks. I just have to go for a few days from it all. Thank God for Gabe allowing me to vent and share what I found and see. Love in Christ, the Messiah, old Sister Boggs. Wow. How many people would share what she went through? You know why she shared what she went through? Well, the message to me is real clear. Don't live in a marriage where your husband demands things of you that you feel are immoral. Don't let your priests threaten you with going to hell if you don't oblige your husband's every wish. And these abortion centers, they need to be shuttered. That's sort of what I think. I hope you take the time to listen what old Sister Boggs had to say and was willing to share with anyone and everyone that sees this video. I personally want to thank her because I think the message that she sent to me, that I'm sending to you and all my viewers, might save women from living a marriage of hell. Thanks for listening.